6 months into his administration, Donald Trump faces now two crises. Each represents, as crises do, danger and opportunity. Tonight, Bill O'Reilly on whether Trump can solve the problems. Ambassador John Bolton on Trump's tough stance with Vladimir Putin. Plus, former AOC supporter Lucy Biggers exposes the Mamdani fantasy in New York. But first, our Why It Matters segment. We've always known President Trump is a different kind of president. 6 months into his administration, we are starting to see if he will be a transformational president. He faces two crises inside his own coalition, inside MAGA: Epstein and immigration. Epstein is a crisis of confidence in the base. Immigration will test his willingness to defy the base for his legacy. As we've noted, the president has wins so far that are significant. Stock market highs, Iran strike success, tariffs now bringing in serious cash, a closed border. Establishment Washington said all of those things were impossible. But the Epstein case is unlike every other kerfuffle President Trump and his administration, Trump 2.0, have faced. Because the handling of the Jeffrey Epstein files is not a case of MAGA versus the media, because then MAGA can fight back against the media. And there have been a lot of made-up scandals so far in the first 6 months, where it was MAGA versus the media, and MAGA's won. Just think about Signalgate. Remember? Haven't heard about that in a long time. It's gone. This is MAGA versus MAGA, or grassroots MAGA versus Washington MAGA. And the base right now is furious with Trump and his administration.
I will not rest until we go full Jan 6 committee on the Jeffrey Epstein files.
Release the Epstein files, am I right? Yeah.
I blame Pam Bondi.
The deep state has tried to stop Trump and the MAGA movement. You can easily fit in the Epstein situation, right?
But now Trump has become the deep state. What is more deep state than covering up for pedophiles?
He did just actively cover up a giant child rapist ring, and I'm going to criticize him for that.
Those are fighting words, not from the left, but from Turning Point USA, which is the campus activist group that is all about Donald Trump. And Trump spent this weekend trying to diffuse the crisis. He wrote on Truth Social, "What's going on with my boys, and in some cases, gals? They're all going after Attorney General Pam Bondi, who's doing a fantastic job. We're on one team, MAGA, and I don't like what's happening." And then Charlie Kirk, who is the young acolyte of Donald Trump, one of his most vocal supporters, got a phone call from Trump over the weekend. Just take a look at the difference of Charlie on Friday versus today on his radio show.
How many of you, raise your hand, think this is a big deal, the Epstein thing? Would you raise your hand? So, I mean, every hand has gone up. I'm done talking about Epstein for the time being. I'm going to trust my friends in the administration. I'm going to trust my friends in the government to do what needs to be done, solve it, balls in their hands.
And now you see the power of Donald Trump. Because all the MAGA influencer types understand that if they lose Trump, they lose their audience. The audience will not turn on Trump. The audience will turn on the influencers. Trump is MAGA. And that brings us to the next fight. If the MAGA faithful are furious over Epstein, their heads are going to positively explode over any talk or even ideas about offering amnesty to illegal immigrants.
What do I think about amnesty for farm workers? I think it's the most grotesque thing I've ever heard. Are you joking?
They all must be deported. Mass deportations now, amnesty never.
No amnesty. Repeat after me. No amnesty. Period. End of story. Amnesty should be the biggest slur in the entire English language. Amnesty is a repugnant word. Amnesty is disgusting because it's a slur against you.
Keep in mind, Charlie Kirk is also in the never amnesty camp. Trump now must choose between keeping his base happy or taking, and we talked about this over last week, his unique point in history, to take concrete steps to cement his legacy as president. A comprehensive deal on immigration would do that, and amnesty, probation, parole is going to have to be part of some grand deal. But for now, the focus is on Epstein. Trump must get past it. Bill O'Reilly noted the Epstein saga could really hurt Trump's credibility. He writes the Justice Department does have information, and Attorney General Pam Bondi as well as Attorney General Merrick Garland should both answer general questions about the investigations. It's their responsibility to do that. President Trump should order it.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.